Yeah, very disappointing night this evening. Very disappointing. I mean, right from the opening kick, the return, first play from scrimmage, and it just kind of carried on a little bit. We kind of got our balance a little bit, fall back, and then you just kind of fell back in a hole. We didn't help ourselves there in the second half offensively. There were multiple turnovers. Had the opportunity on our first drive to go down and really kind of change the game right there. We missed an open pass right there at the beginning, and ended up turning the ball over on our first possession, and then they take it down and score. Makes it a 14-point swing, and then it was just really an uphill climb from there. Had the opportunity right there with the turnover for a touchdown, and we couldn't capitalize. Another turnover offensively. It was just a long night. I credit Coastal Carolina. They got a good football team. They're well coached. They play extremely hard. You just can't make mistakes. Can't make mistakes like we've made. I just told our guys that we're going to find out a lot about our football team here in the next week. That's it's part of the game. It's part of the game. We were shorthanded a little bit tonight, but I don't think in any one of those positions it was just a huge impact. They're capable players to go out there and play, and a couple missed assignments right from the get-go just got us behind very quickly. So, like I said, it's a disappointment. We're gonna have to grow. We're gonna have to learn. We're gonna have to make some changes. But we'll evaluate them. I don't know. Can't sit here and tell you exactly the changes that we're going to make, but something's got to be different moving forward.
Coach, obviously, I'm sure there's a lot from the first half that you want to go back and fix, but given you went down 10 at the break, did you feel like you had kind of stolen an opportunity back into the game at that point?
We really did. I mean, I kind of came in here and sat, and I was thought, as poorly of a first half as it was to be down 10. I was like, we're getting the ball back. We're going to take this thing down. We're going to make a 3-point game. The momentum will change. And we certainly had every intention, just like everyone does. And we had the place to go do that. We missed a wide open Robert Lewis right down the middle right there. It's a little underthrown, and just had the opportunity. We continued to drive. We picked up the first down, got the pass interference, and then we had the turnover. When you have the turnover and they take it down and score, it kind of puts you right back in the hole, and they start throwing the dirt over you. Continue to fight as best we could, and just didn't make the plays. We turned the ball over more offensively, and it was just tough. It was a tough night.
How did those first two quick scores they had change the way that you guys call the game and approach the rest of it?
Well, we had some guys out, and there were some errors in some guys that were in their play, and that's no excuse. They were prepared to go out there and play, and just didn't see it. I don't know. We'll have to go back and really find out exactly what occurred. I can see every situation. As soon as they lined up in the formation, I knew 14 was in the backfield. We knew Will Wright was coming. It didn't do us any good for me to know it and our coaches to know it if our players don't know it. But for whatever reason, it did not transition from our coaches to our players, and that's poor. That is poor. That's poor on our part. That can't happen. You can't go play with a guy that can't take it from the meeting room to the playing field, and we've got to coach better. There's no other way. If it's not, it's got to be driven home to these guys to put them out there, because we've got a lot of guys out there laying on the line. We've got a lot of guys out there playing with great effort and playing their hearts out and laying everything on the line for our football team. And if we're putting guys out there that are unprepared and they're not playing, or we're not doing a good enough job in coaching those players to go out there, then I have to figure that out, and I have to figure out why it happens.
Again, not an excuse or anything, but with 2 new offensive line starters for this game on a short week, do you think just the flow with the run game just was interrupted with the new guys in their new chemistry?
When you lose 3 tackles in a week, it's tough sledding. It is, but You know, when you get down like we did, just really, really quickly, it kind of changes your mentality to some degree. We didn't have much success running the football. And then they stuffed us pretty good. Good defensive plan.
Do you feel like the turnovers were just some, bad luck and bad bounces in the game, or do you think it was, maybe people out of position?
No, I think the turnovers is us kind of stressing, pressing, trying to make a play. You know, you're down and you got to go to the throw of the game. I mean, you can't sit there and methodically run the football and just trying to make a play. And it just didn't happen. It didn't happen. I can't fault the attempt to go out there and make a play for our football team. They were trying to make a play. Everybody out there was trying to make a play, and the plays just weren't happening. I mean, I couldn't wish it to go, for any better, but it just didn't work. I mean, you look at that turnover there. Then I mean, just turns. He's trying to make the first down. I think pops out, and it's it's kind of just another stone thrown at you.
It seemed like you guys found a lot of success throwing the medium and deeper routes in the middle of the field. Was that something you guys saw early on in film, or was that just the way the game was flowing?
Yeah, no, we thought we could have done that. We really did. We should have taken advantage of a little bit more over the top on them, but we didn't have the opportunity. We could have done it, certainly.
Will this be a good week to have extra time to get ready for your next game?
We don't need extra time. I mean, we had a short week, but we probably prepared more this week than we have. I mean, more meeting time. I don't know. I mean, at some point they tune you out. If you're just constantly meeting, but we got to figure out a happy medium to that, because it certainly did not go out into a playing field because the execution was lacking in some of those areas. So you can say more preparation time, or you can say, hey, go clear your heads and let's regroup and come back in here with a pretty good attitude Monday, because it's going to be a tough Monday. It's going to be a tough attitude. It's going to be hard to come around here and smile on Monday. It's just one of those things. It's not a very good feeling. We sat here. I don't know if anybody in that locker room's ever been 0-4. I certainly haven't. So we're going to find out a lot about us.
Facing a quarterback like McCall, what were you going into the game hoping to do to maybe throw him off of his game?
Well, to tell you the truth, and McCall, he's a great quarterback. He's a great quarterback. You have to disrupt a guy like him. You have to hit him. I mean, you have to get pressure on him. You can't let him sit back there. So many times tonight, we gave him what I thought were very easy completions. When I looked out there, he was throwing a 5-yard hitch, and it was just uncontested. And you don't have to be a great quarterback, even though he is a great quarterback, to go make those completions. But we didn't disrupt him. We got to him a couple times there in the second half, and I really don't even know what the injury was, but if you let him stand back there and have his way, he's gonna pick you apart.
Do you feel like this week, even though it was the same result as last week, do you feel like they at least come in a little more prepared this week, or a little more, maybe the effort was up more?
I mean, when you look at the football team, you got 3 phases of a football team, and you got to judge your team off all 3 phases. So, I think if you look back at our last game, I think there was great effort in areas. I mean, really great effort in areas, and some were lacking in other areas. We just got beat by a better football team and out executed us, controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and did what they needed to do to win the game. And that's a good job in their coaching, and that's a good job in their players responding to them. And I can't say enough about that.